This is no longer just a disagreement. This is a clear and serious divide. Well, for years, the United States has stood firmly with its allies, presenting a united front during a global crisis. But now that unity is beginning to crack, well, the issue at the center of this growing rift is none other than Iran. The strategically critical Strait of Hormuz and a bold decision that could have far-reaching consequences. Well, after negotiations collapsed, Mr. Trump, he kind of pushed forward with a proposal of naval blockade, and that too against Iran, basically a move that signals strength but also carries enormous risk. However, wait, in an unexpected turn, some of America's closest allies, they have chosen not to support this strategy. Well, the United Kingdom and Australia, they have both distanced themselves, calling instead for a strait to remain open and for tensions to be reduced rather than escalate. In fact, their stance highlights growing concern that blocking one of the world's most important oil routes, it could trigger a much larger crisis. Now, if you know, then Strait of Hormuz, that's not just another shipping lane, right? It carries nearly 20% of the global oil supply. So any disruption over here, it does not just impact one region. It sends shockwaves across the global economy. Well, despite this pushback, Washington appears determined to move ahead. The US Central Command has really confirmed that the blockade will proceed, with ships already being warned and some maritime traffic slowing or maybe halting altogether. This immediate impact is already visible. Oil prices have surged sharply, global stock markets have dipped, and investor confidence, it has been shaken. What started as a geopolitical standoff is now rapidly turning into an economic concern that is affecting countries far beyond the Middle East. And yes, at the very same time, Iran has made it absolutely clear that it will not accept such actions quietly. Tehran has warned that any blockade, it will be treated as an act of aggression, raising the possibility of retaliation here through military or maybe strategic means. And this adds another layer of uncertainty as any response from Iran, it could escalate the whole situation further and potentially draw more and more players into the conflict. The most striking development, it is visible fracture between the US and its allies. This is not a coordinated international effort, but a move that the US appears ready to undertake largely on its own. Now that shift raises serious questions about how events will actually unfold if tensions continue to rise. With diplomacy failing, alliances under strain, and economic pressure mounting, the world is now finding itself watching a rapidly evolving situation that could spiral into a much larger crisis.